Welcome to For Goodness Sakes with Jordan. I am Jordan, and along beside me are two of my good friends, Jennifer Woodall and Michelle Hahn. And we are munching on some great, fantastic food from Spoonbread. If you guys are interested in the recipe or want to know where the restaurant is, please log on to my website, www.forgoodnesssakes.org. Did you guys like this food?
Yes, it was very good.
It was great.
Scrumptious.
I've eaten too much. Too much. Today's topic is whatever happened to goodness. And I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, I guess, I'm going to take it back a little ways. When I was a child, goodness was when everybody reached out with kindness to help someone else. When someone needed a babysitter because they needed to go find a job, we knew what door to knock on. When someone knew that the clothes that the kids had grown out of, gave them to someone else, we knew what door to knock on. We knew if somebody couldn't pay their rent, we gave rent parties. It was just such a goodness. And I want to bring that goodness back. I want to bring it back. And I think about it all the time. And whatever happened to goodness? Whatever happened to being kind? What do you think, Jennifer? What do you think happened?
Well, Ann, I just think that today people are just so busy, dealing with their businesses. They just get up and they just go and, nonstop, and they just don't take the time out to acknowledge one another. For example, when I'm riding on the subway trains, you sit across from someone, you don't get any type of eye contact. We don't just smile. If we would just take the time just to smile at one another, at least that would be the beginning of goodness.
And smiling is a goodness.
Yes, it is.
Smiling is a goodness. Michelle, you think that too?
Well, you tell us your feelings. I do believe in what she said with our businesses. America has, we've grown to be such a capitalist country, and we are all worrying about our financial situations and money that we forget to also think about giving back to our communities, about thinking about our brothers and our neighbors, and giving back what we have been able to generate in money to give it back in spirit and kindness. So I think that's kind of where we have jumped and missed the connection with one another today in America.
You're right. She's so right. But you know what? Next we have a woman, a guest, that has been spreading her goodness throughout New York so many years with her so delicious food. And we're going to introduce you to her. So just sit tight. We'll be right back. I'm sitting here with my very special guest, Norma Jean. This is not in the script, but you know what? I've been sitting here talking to you off camera, and I want you to give me a hug so our hearts can touch.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
I have so many things I want to ask you, so many questions, and you're a wonderful person. I'm sitting here just talking to you. You're such an inspiring person. And I want you to tell us, and I want you to tell our audience, who inspired you and made you become the person that you are?
Well, I'd have to say my parents. I had a wonderful mother, Mamie Jean Sampson, and I've named my restaurant for her, Miss Mamie's, and she was a great inspiration for me and my sister. She was a school teacher in a one-room schoolhouse in the South, and she went on to become a social worker, which my sister followed in that path. And she was a wonderful hostess and a wonderful mother. And we remember so many of her great dishes. And my father loved to entertain. He would give a big picnic and all the neighbors would come, and we would cook a whole pig and he'd put an apple in the pig's mouth. So I picked up wanting to entertain and please people through food from my parents.
Oh, man, that's such a wonderful thing.
It is.
It's a wonderful thing. Let's talk a little bit about your book, Mama. I know you have a book.
I do.
Let's talk a little bit about that. What inspired you to write the book?
Well, at the time I was a model in New York City, And I worked for Vogue, and the food editor at Vogue asked me what was my background. And I mentioned that I was in my 20s then. I was only one generation removed from slavery. My grandfather was a slave.
Really?
And he was 9 years old when the emancipation came. And at 9 years of age, they told him to just get off the land. And at 9 years of age, he had to become his own breadwinner. And he went town to town, and he would cut grass, and he would mow lawns with a little bit to eat and some clothes on his back. And when he was 14, he wandered into a little town called Wilson, North Carolina. And he went to the church, as he always did when he went to a new town, went to the black church, the AME church, and there was a little girl, 13, serving lemonade. And he went over and he gave us a few little cents for her lemonade. And he told her, this is sour. And she said, well, that's the way I like it. And that started a relationship.
Oh.
And he would call on her, but he was new to town, a little raggedy and young, and he would just get shooed off the front porch by her parents. So he stayed in that town, and he built a little shack, and he was good with his hands, so he could fix things, and people would bring broken clocks and washboards and animal trunks. And after 3 years, when he was 16, he called on her and he asked to marry her. And her parents took a little mercy on him because he was a little bit of a businessman.
That's special.
And they left him court, and they married when he was 17 and she was 15. And they had their first child a year later, and they were to have 13 children.
I bless.
And the last child was my father. Walter T. And so that was the history of the Dardens in the South. But my grandfather, because he couldn't read or write, and as you know, Ann, it was against the law for a person to teach them to read and write.
That's true.
And that's the one thing that he really wanted for his family. And he saw that all 13 children went to high school because there was no high school in the town.
Special?
And he had to send them away, far away, in fact, to Charlotte, North Carolina, to get an education that they were ready for high school. So the town named a high school for him.
Isn't that special?
Because he finally
Isn't
got
that
them
special?
to build one.
Isn't that special?
Yes.
Ah, it's gonna make me cry. I do this all the time. I can't help myself. Isn't that special?
And these were stories that we didn't know, my sister and I. And we went south and we interviewed our cousins and our aunts and uncles, and family was spread all over. So we traveled to Virginia, to Florida, to California, to Chicago, wherever we knew we had some family. Because for those 13 people, it just spread out so much. And we collected their stories, and when we would visit them, they would bring their photography out and show us what they were doing in high school and who this was and that was. So our cookbook became a scrapbook of photographs, stories, and recipes. And we were the first people to do a memoir cookbook, and now everybody's doing it.
Wow. Isn't
That was Spoonbread and Strawberry Wine.
so special? And what inspired your names of your restaurant? Yeah, I know there are different names.
Well, Miss Mamie, of course, was my mother, and then the second one was Miss Maud, who is our sort of our surrogate grandmother. She raised my father after his mother died when he was 14. So she was the only grandmother we ever knew in Opelika, Alabama. So the second restaurant's named for her. And of course, we had planned to keep on going, but then the economy kicked in. But we still, knock on wood, want to keep going.
That's so wonderful. And we're going to be right back with Norma Jean after the message. Just sit tight and we'll come back and learn more about this wonderful woman and a wonderful story that she has to tell us. Hi, we're back with Norma Jean. And I want to say to you, what a wonderful, inspiring story. And I so appreciate you sharing your wonderful love, joy, and goodness with us. And I'm going to go to Jennifer. I'm going to ask her if she have anything that she might want to ask.
Oh yes, Miss Norma Jean, I noticed that you had many positive role models. And I just wanted to know how important was that to your success and will to follow your dreams?
Very, very influential, because I knew that it could be done. Because when you think of how little our foreparents had and how much they did with it, that there was just no excuse, and I couldn't accept failure as an option. Because this little guy who couldn't read or write and could only put an X managed to get 13 children through school. So, and from that humble beginning, he produced 3 physicians, 2 lawyers, 2 undertakers, and of course the women were nurses and teachers, because that's what women did in those days. But if he could come from such a small beginning and accomplish that much, the baton is passed.
As a woman in today's world, I know we face many challenges in the world and in business. Being a businesswoman as yourself, what are one of the most of the challenges that you find in being a businesswoman?
Taxes. It just seems that I'm running in place and paying the government. Every time I turn around, there's a new tax.
I can understand.
Yes, indeed. And that is, and also getting good people and being able to keep them and be paid enough and to have them get along.
That's right.
Or have them not get along so well as they're getting along. I have some fancy girls in there that are turning the heads of the chefs. So to get a staff that can work together and be harmonious and to pay your taxes. Those are the real pitfalls.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that.
Norma Jean, today's economy has made it rough for many people to grasp the American dream. So how can you encourage people that such a dream is still within reach?
Well, you know, I'm inspired by Oprah. Because think of Oprah. I just finished reading her biography, and there she was, a little girl in Tennessee, now owns her own network. And she came along during hard times. So we have to keep in mind that if we persevere and we don't let the negatives set in and we keep going, and we're like butterflies that land on pretty things, as Anne says, to quote Anne, anything is possible. Because from my little humble kitchen, I've been able to feed Obama. I did his book party. I met Mandela. I did his ticker tape parade. He had my food. I was able to meet George Bush Sr. and I cooked for George Jr. So, although I'm a Democrat, and I've had the pleasure to go to Bill Clinton's office and to feed him and his guests, and he has come to our restaurant 3 times. So I never could have met these people, and I never could have been so inspired by my own guests had I not followed my second dream, which was get the world.
I was looking for that.
Thank you.
Great. And now we have a good deed session with Karen Davis, and she's out there in the field waiting for us. She's doing goodness things for us out there, and she's talking to people and spreading goodness. And we want to know where she is right now and who she's interviewing. Karen, Miss Davis, where are you?
Hi, Ann. I'm here in the South Bronx, and I'm going to find out just how many people have had something nice done to them, and they want to thank them and say that they appreciate them. We're going to find out right now. There's a lot of people out here, and it's a nice, it's a pretty nice day. It doesn't feel so bad. We're going to find out just how many people have had something nice done for them, and they want to say thank you and show that they appreciate them. Hi, how are you? Good, good. I'm so glad to see you. You happen to be an old friend of mine. And this is one of the random people that are out here in the Bronx, and I just happen to see her in passing. And I want to ask you, is there anyone that has ever done something good for you and you'd want to say thank you and show your appreciation to them?
course. I had a friend, we grew up since we were 6 years old, and she's always been there for me through thick and thin. No matter how far in time we haven't spoken to each other, we always come back together like it's been only a couple of days since we last seen each other. And I love her dearly, and I just want to say that I thank her for everything that she's done in my life for me.
What has she done? And would you want to mention her name, or you just want to say a friend?
Oh yeah, her name is Shanique Davis. She knows who she is. And you know, we both have our experiences growing up, becoming parents early, and we just stood next to each other and we gave each other those supports
That is so
to
beautiful.
our children.
So beautiful. And I think that it's important that we get to say thank you. And that's why we're doing this segment, because so often we don't get the chance to say thank you because we're so busy in our lives, working and working and, doing things that we need to do for our family. But sometimes it takes a village to raise a child, and sometimes we need to say thank you. And this is a perfect
Definitely.
opportunity.
And they automatically think that they know it. Like that individual knows that you're being thanked, and you have to say it. You can't assume it.
You can't assume it. And I'm just so thankful that you're here today, and it's so great to see you. And this is a blessing to me. So I want to say thank you with that.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Hi, is there anyone that has done something good for you and you'd like to thank them and show that you appreciate them in your life?
Yes, my God Almighty. It did good for me because I went to church back home because I wanted to get married. I'm tired of this married man complaining. So I asked God, God, please help me. I need a partner. The same day I got a partner. I just got married December 29. So I just gave him thanks and praise. So I just came back from Africa.
Wow, that is a blessing, and you look happy, and I can see the happiness all over you. So basically what you're saying is that you found spirituality.
Yes.
Okay, hello, sir. How are you? Oh, that's good. Is there anyone that has done something good for you in your life, and you want to say thank you and show that you appreciate them?
Yeah, I would. I would say thank you to Bishop Hezekiah Walker. I walked in his church 12 years ago on a dare, and I've never left. And it changed my life from being in a hood, hanging out, selling drugs and all that. See, that's the devil. That's the coming by with the flash, with the thing.
That's okay. The devil is alive.
Right, that was a liar. So, and I would like to thank him because without him, I would not be the man I am today. I have a beautiful wife, I have my children, and I just got blessed with a career job. So, without him imparting in my life to be a man, because you got a lot of people out there who are men in a physical nature, but spiritually and in their heart, they're not real men. So it taught me how to take care of my children better, how to be a husband. There's a lot of men, they say they might call wifeys and all that. If like Beyonce said, if you didn't like it, put a ring on it. It goes that way for men too. If you're going to be a real men marry their loves. So I would like to thank Hezekiah Walker for imparting in me, and I would like to say thank you, Bishop, for making me the man that I am through God who helped me out.
Hi, is there anyone that has done something good for you and you'd like to say thank you and show that you appreciate them?
I sure do. I give all praises and honor to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. He's abundantly adorable, and I can't live without him. So I thank him from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you heard it right here. First, hello, how are you? I just found out that you happen to be a friend of my brother's. Yes, and what is your name and who's standing next to you?
My name is Jeff Simmons, and this is the lovely Mamie Simmons right here.
Very nice, very nice. Well, we're doing this show, and we want to find out, is there anyone that has done something good for you, and you want to thank them and show that you appreciate them?
I want to thank this lady right here, my mother, my beautiful mother, and my lovely father. Them two. Without them, I don't know where I would be at right now. So I'm on this Valentine's Day coming up. I would love to thank the Simmons family.
That is so lovely. And I just want to ask you, what is it that they've done so instrumental in your life?
Just being there, just being my support, my backbone, my real backbone. You know what I mean? Like when nobody else has been there, they've been there. So, that's what I would love to thank them and just let them know that I love them and I appreciate them,
Thank you so much for saying thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, my son. I love you.
Mwah.
Okay.
sharing this experience with me as far as goodness sakes is concerned. And I want you to leave here with something. I want you to open your heart and open your mind, hug somebody, touch somebody's heart, spread a little goodness. And I like to say, especially thanks to Norma Jean, who came here and shared her story with us today. It gave me a brighter perspective. I want to love somebody, I want to hug somebody, I want to feed somebody, because the food was so great. And we are all enjoying those peach cobbler corn. What are they called? Peach. Oh man, are they wonderful? I had one, and I tell you, I had to. I won't lie, I had to. But tune in with me. And for everybody out there, put your arms around someone. Love, hug, laugh, live. Please. See you next week.